What is going on, everyone? Little disappointed in what we saw yesterday when it comes to a Super Bowl. What's up, fellas? What's going on? Yes, been a little bit since the YouTube stream. We are going to implement here a little coffee with Brodes in the morning. So I'm excited. You know me with my cup of coffee. I need 5,000 cups of coffee. How's the can you guys hear me? Everything good on that side? What's up, Pat? What's going on? Yes, time for some coffee. You're not wrong. Beautiful. Yeah, that game was brutal. I wanted to see something more entertaining, but look, the goat gets it done. The GOAT gets it done. Pretty crazy that the Chiefs look that brutal. I mean, Todd Bowles, he put a hell of a game plan together. Getting two up high, two safeties up high, taking away everybody. Tyreek Hill had 200-plus yards in the first quarter the last time they played. 7 Super Bowls. We'll never see it again. I'm rooting for him to have the 8th. Do I even want the Eagles to win? I don't know. Maybe I want Tom Brady. I look plastered? Well, that's because I haven't had my coffee yet. Tony. Sheesh. Coming at me hard. Yeah, White's a stud. Maybe this changes the perspective from the linebacker position. Just throwing it out there. Maybe Nate Gary's not going to get it done anymore. Maybe we transition to a little bit, a little bit more versatile linebacker role that can make plays sideline to sideline. Although, everyone's talking about Parsons. Maybe do they take him in the first round, which, of course, I wouldn't be against it, but I don't see the Eagles ever going down that road. And don't forget about Davion Taylor. Not that I ever think that he will be to the level of Parsons. Yeah, elite linebacker play. You did see that. You saw that. And Gronk. It's crazy when you think of what players made plays, right? Like Gronkowski, and you had Antonio Brown, and you had Leonard Fournette. These are players that weren't, like when you thought of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, not saying this year, the year prior, those aren't the guys you thought of. That's the Tom Brady effect. Oh, you got a Wawa coffee, Tim? I'm going with the blonde roast from Starbucks. Just made it upstairs in my Ninja. Keeping it in my Yeti at the moment. But I could go for a nice Wawa. I'm on this great Wawa train at the moment. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to be implementing more live streams in the morning. We're building off sports talk with Brodes. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes right now, but we're kicking things into gear. So one of those is coffee with Brodes. Nothing like it. You guys know I'm addicted. Yeah, Pat. So we're like streaming on multiple platforms right now. We got Twitter, we got YouTube, we got Twitch. We're kind of hitting the whole shebang, if you will. So yeah, we're going to implement a little bit more. Black Rifle coffee, French pressed. There's no such thing as bad coffee to me, but I'm going blonde roast black as well. I got to keep mine black. Chiefs offensive line looked like the Eagles. I think it even looked worse, to be honest with you. I think it looked worse. Dunkin' Donuts for me is like, I like the Dunkin' coffee, but it's like watered down and it doesn't give me that. Sometimes I drink that coffee and I like start shaking and I go nuts. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I like it. I don't think Dunkin' ever gives me that power. I'm a Wawa guy over Starbucks. I'll be honest with you. I don't like going out and buying Starbucks, but I don't mind making it at home. What's up, Sponge? What's going on? Was Vitae playing? No, not Vitae. It was Wisniewski. Wisniewski was playing last night. What do you think we're going to get for Wentz? Well, Natalie Eganoff was reporting that she's hearing from some sources, Foles because of the contract, Tariq Cohen in a first-round pick. I think with people talking about how the trade's going to happen in 1 or 2 days or 3 days, I think it's already worked out. And like there's like minor details being figured out. And because people are so, vocal about when this is going to get done, it essentially tells me that it's kind of happening. That there's something already worked out, if you will. Already worked out, and they're just trying to maybe figure out the details. Yeah, I saw Tariq Cohen's tweet. I did see that. Look, I saw a couple people reaching out about, or not reaching out, but tweeting out about that compensation. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Who's better, Jokic or Embiid? Well, I watch Embiid on a way more consistent basis. I know Jokic is playing at an elite level right now as well. We don't dive in as much as we do with Embiid, watching him for 48 minutes a night, But what I've seen out of Embiid is so damn special. It's crazy. I've never seen Allen Iverson was the last time we've seen someone in a Philadelphia Sixers uniform take over games the way that he is, and he's doing it from a 7-foot guy. It's wild. Should the Eagles go out? Is that what I saw? Should the Eagles go out and get, or not Eagles, Sixers, Andre Dillard? This is what happens when I don't have my coffee. It doesn't say Andre Dillard. It says Kyle Lowry. Jesus Christ, that's not even close to one another. This is why I don't do stuff before the coffee. But here's the point of this. You get a little insight. I don't think they can get Kyle Lowry. Do you think the Raptors are willing to move on from him? I don't know. Thank you, Sebastian. We have someone watching on the toilet. Okay, to each their own. If that's what you like to do. Jokic is definitely a better passer. Absolutely. Absolutely. What'd you think of Buccaneers defense? They were outstanding. They were unbelievable. They were phenomenal. You could argue that they deserved as a unit to win MVP. That's how damn solid they were, man. Insane. I can't read. Stop it. I can read. I'm reading everything right now. Just a lot going. The screen's flying. A lot of comments. Look, if the Raptors are willing to trade him and Daryl Morey's ready to pull the trigger, I trust Daryl Morey. I think that there's a couple things that this team needs. They need, I'm just saying based off of how vocal they are about it, they need the backup 4 position. They need a primary ball handler in that second unit. And then, you got to look at that 5 position as well with the Dwight Howard experiment. Although I think that they believe they're fine there between Dwight and Ben Simmons playing the 5. Losing Eric Fisher killed the Chiefs, for sure. And that's why I think all week long they were kind of talking about that, right? All week long we heard, how is this defensive front in JPP and Barrett? How are these guys going to be able to just explosively get off on Wiley and Wisniewski? And guess what? Well, they did just that. Derrick Rose did get traded to the Knicks. I thought that was an interesting move. Sean, I have no comment. Would I trade first Maxey and Matisse for Bradley Beal? With my eyes closed. The problem is that's not realistic. Would I do that? For sure. For sure. Not realistic, though. PJ Tucker is someone that I think they like in that 4 position. Would they be willing to trade with the Sixers is the question. But PJ Tucker, yeah, for sure. That's kind of what you're looking for out of that 4. How about the halftime show? In the moment, I thought it was brutal. And I was never a guy who hated The Weeknd. I kind of liked The Weeknd. But I don't know if there were some audio issues going on or whatnot. But, that meme that's going around Twitter with him looking around. I thought I was going to have a heart attack or something. I was shaking. What was it? It was trippy. Good thing I wasn't taking ecstasy. Hey, thank you so much, Logan. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Do I think Wentz gets traded today? No. I don't think it's today, but I think it's coming soon. There's this unwritten rule, that during the Super Bowl, you don't drop news. That's why I was surprised that some of the news was dropping on Saturday night. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But I don't think it's today. I think it's in the next couple of days. Oh, there's nothing better than that That first cup of coffee. I mean, are you kidding me? You remember my reaction to signing Bryce? I was stoked. And by the way, I don't know why this happens. For all these other teams, I feel I'm good, staying objective. When it comes to the Phillies, I just get sucked into thinking like, all right, maybe they could hang in there. I mean, look, they've been around 500, so is it crazy to think that it's possible to kind of, hang in there a little bit more? But the Mets get bigger. Oh, thank you so much, Oscar, for the $2 donation. I really appreciate that. But there you go. I feel like my chat is freezing. Any more Phillies moves? I think that there might be. Nothing crazy, though. Trevor Bauer going to the Dodgers. Are you kidding me with that move? What do you get? Front-loaded $45 million in the first year, $40 million in the second year? It's ridiculous. That Dodgers team is stacked. You got the Tampa Bay Rays of the West that's actually willing to spend money. It's scary. And then you have them versus the Padres. Woo-hoo! I can't wait for baseball season. And technically, once the Super Bowl's over, are we ready to transition into baseball season? I think that's the next question here. Yeah, the Harper reaction was always fun. Prediction for the opening day roster? I think you kind of have it, right? I mean, you're just going to make minor moves at this point. Whether it's just when I say that, it's really just taking chances on bullpen pieces, like they've kind of already been doing. I don't know how much they'd be doing more, but not much, but maybe one or two more things. Minor moves that you're just kind of like, okay, this guy sucked last year, so we'll give it a shot. One of those. I read that one already. What kind of coffee? This is a Starbucks blonde roast. I've been crushing the Wawa hazelnuts. Kind of ran out, so we're going to. I have like 7-8 different bags of coffee that sit on my like coffee bar, if you will. So it's different every day. And my UFC guy, I'm transitioning into a big UFC guy. I am. So I'm starting to get into it. I'm starting to learn more about it. Slow transition, but I am starting to get into it more and more. Odubel Herrera should get another chance. I saw a piece on that. I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest with you. I really don't. And I don't know enough about the full situation of the domestic violence issue to really have a full opinion on it. So I'll just kind of leave that up to the organization if they feel best. They do need a center fielder, though, but I think in terms of Hastley, Quinn, and maybe Scott Kingery, because when you sign Didi, that means Segura is going to play second. You get an opportunity to move someone to center field. Surtain or a wide receiver? I think the more and more I look at it, I would be okay with either options. I'd rather go, man, at first I was so wide receiver heavy in my mind, but the more and more I think about it, I'm leaning maybe outside corner. I drink more coffee for sure. Baseball's the worst. In what world? Baseball's fantastic. No, I put this out the other day. Random thought during lunch. And my random thought during lunch was, out of all four teams that I break down every single night, who's my favorite? It's the Phils. It's the Phils. And I think it's because, one, I just love talking baseball. There's nothing better than having a baseball conversation, breaking down OPS and breaking down it's a 2-1 count. You're going change up, and it was beautiful. I love talking baseball. And every night, for the most part, there's a game. So the storylines flow. Like the Sixers played how many days ago? And then they play when? Tuesday here? No. I like baseball every night, 7 o'clock. Give me that. So that's my favorite. Yeah, baseball, I mean, it's unbelievable. I love it. Baseball's the best sport ever. It's up there, man. I love breaking down Phillies baseball. And that's why I'd be so disappointed if I ever get stuck with a season that's unbearable, like a 100-loss season. Am I supposed to break that down? Really? Am I supposed to break down the 100-loss season? Please, no. Ozuna back to Atlanta. I did see that. KP, you came to the channel for the Phils. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. It's funny because there's like section of fans, right? Like there's people who are only Phillies fans that come in and check in during Philly season. And then, there's the diehard Sixers fans that, aren't big Flyers fans or Eagles fans, but they come for basketball. So it's cool to kind of I know what's in season. I know what guys are coming around more and on. I see you guys in the comments throughout. Phil's, Birds, Flyers, Sixers. Love them all so much. Yeah, the list is hard, right? Because when you make the list, when you put, like for you, John, when you put the Sixers at the bottom, does that really mean they're at the bottom? No, absolutely not. Of course not. But yeah, it's in terms of like intrigue, I can't even put a list, man. I can't even put a list. What's up, Scott? What's going on? Thanks for coming in. I'm good. How are you? It's a Monday. Mondays normally blow. So for whatever that's worth, it's a Monday. I feel like because I'm talking here, I'm not getting my coffee drinking in, and now we're having an issue, right? Now I'm not as you guys are distracting me. Maybe we should have rethought about this idea. I can't get what I need to get accomplished. Apex, you're here for it all. Love it. What's up, Flame? What's going on? Thanks, Ruiz. I appreciate it. You wish you were allergic to Mondays. Aren't we all? It's to some degree. Look at that Embiid picture, though, right? What shoulder is that over? Now, here's the problem, fellas. Here's the problem I have. So, this new homeowner, right? So, my fiance and I got this house. So, we're building the man cave. And I got a nice framed Bryce Harper. I got a nice framed Claude Giroux. I got the Joel Embiid over here, and then on the other side, I got a little Ben Simmons. Right? So we're making this the man cave. Here's the problem. I got a fucking Carson Wentz hanging up. What do I do with that? Huh? What's the move with the Carson Wentz framed picture after this debacle? What am I supposed to do with that? What do I do with that? How do the Flyers win games? Eric, it's a great question. I don't know. What's up, John Martin? What's happening? Yeah, I don't know how they win games. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Rob, I found you by coming across your Eagles coverage. I watch you when you talk Eagles, Flyers, Phillies, sometimes Sixers. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that. We're sorry you can't drink your coffee. I know. How dare all of you? Where am I putting my signed Howell Neto jersey? That's great. By the way, if you guys haven't, there are giveaways every Wednesday. Every Wednesday on my Twitter, @Brodes81. If you are not entered to win the most recent one, go retweet my pinned tweet at the top of my profile and follow me. That's all you have to do every Wednesday. So right now, it's this amazing Eagles snow hat. And then, not the one I'm wearing now, it's a different one. And then next week, it looks like maybe a signed puck from a top dog in this Flyers organization. So just saying, we're going to get some autographs on the table for next week. So make sure you head over to my Twitter, @Brodes81. The Gabe Kapler impression. Josh, come on, don't do that to me, dude. Don't be doing that to me. Don't be coming in here and giving me Gabe Kapler vibes on a Monday. You want to talk about starting your week off piss poor. You start bringing up Gabe Kapler. Trey, my thoughts on the Super Bowl. It wasn't entertaining, but it was cool to see Tom Brady. And it was cool to see that defense. Like, it wasn't like a fun game. We can all agree with that. But what they did, I think, needs to be appreciated. What Todd Bowles did, speaking of Todd Bowles, I have him right here on my TV from his presser last night. Todd Bowles, like, they dominated a team. Like, the Chiefs didn't score one touchdown. Amazing. Yo, thank you so much, the Philly Talk Podcast. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and you're the best, Go check out Philly Talk Podcast if you haven't already. You're the man. I appreciate it. I see your grind. Keep up your stuff. Dude, love you. Philly Mike, the GOAT. Love it. You're the man. Elliot, I appreciate all the love and support. I really do. What are we doing with Wentz? I think his ass is gone. And I think it needs to, sadly. It needs to happen. Brodes, bring back Sean Rodriguez. Come on! Why are we doing this today? It's hey, let's piss off Brodes. Here I am, trying to be a man of the people, right? That's one of my mottos. I'm a man of the people. I might even get it tattooed on my neck. That's what I do. I'm here for you. Yet everyone's coming in, throwing Gabe Kapler my way. Now we're throwing Sean Rodriguez my way. I mean, come on, fellas. Thomas says, record a pod with Modes and Kaplan. Moshe and I, we got some ideas working. Just saying. We got some ideas, but everything's going a little behind the scenes right now. Just be prepared for some stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I will be implementing live streams more. I will be doing that. Bring back the Brodes dance. Brodes dances have been retired. That is on the record. I love that. It's like, at this point, I think it's been about 2 years since I did a Brodes dance, right? And all I get after every win is, Brodes, where's the dance? I'm like, fellas, it's been 2 years. 2 years. It's been retired. Good days, though. It's funny going back and looking at all the old stuff. It really is. Thank you so much, Vulgar Knight, for the $5 donation. Big fan. Thanks for the great content. Is there a way I can pop these up on the screen when the... I think there is. Bang, there it is. Super chat. Big fan. Thanks for the great content. Do you think there's a chance Wentz gets traded to Washington? I don't think it's Washington. This is just my gut feel. It's between the Bears and the Colts. But something tells me... Well, look, you had the Colts GM come out and say, he said, I lost my train of thought there. I did speak with the Eagles. Like, there is conversation there. They have checked in on Wentz, so he's very vocal about it. I think something's going down soon. I think people know a lot of information at this point. My guess is Bears or Colts. I think that's pretty much where we're at here. No, we don't need the Sixers dance back. It had its run. It had its run. And from there, hey, thank you so much for what you did, but now it's time to move on a little bit. That's all. The saddest Philly sports team right now, or like ever, it's the Phillies. I mean, they're one of the worst organizations ever. They're the losingest. They lose. That's what they know. That's all they know. They're a losing organization. Throw a little hockey in there. Will the Phillies get 85 wins? Whoo! 85 wins. You're asking for a lot. 85 wins. Watch there be a third team? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I think a lot of these, things getting thrown around is Howie Roseman leaking information to maybe try and spark the price up a bit and get people going, get people making phone calls. But look, that's what you got to do, right? But I think a lot of this information being leaked is coming from the NovaCare. That's just something that's been happening for a while now. Love the videos. Watch game by myself. My sister and mom don't care. Thank you, CJ. Thank you so much. 9-year playoff drought. They've been brutal. But they keep me engaged. Just keep me engaged. Like I said, if there's a Philly season where it's 162 and my ass is recapping 110 losses, fuck, I'm going to be pissed. I don't know what I do. I haven't had that yet. Since I started Sports Talk with Brodes, I have not had a season with a team where it was like legitimate. I can't watch them on a nightly basis. So until that happens... we're going to have to kind of take it for what it is. Like, what if the Flyers were a 25-win team? Am I breaking down all 82? I would like to say the answer is yes. But we'll see. I don't even want to think about that. You think the Phillies win 90? 90 wins this year. In that division, it's going to be tough. It's going to be brutal. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. Hold on a second. I think my chat got all screwed up here. Giannis or Embiid? That's tough. With the fit of Ben Simmons, I think you'd have to go Embiid. And that's crazy, right? Because there was this big screaming match of can they even play together? No, we will win 80 games max. Maximum of 80? I don't know. They've been 500, right? 500 for the last couple of years, so even the Flyers wins suck. You're not wrong. They do blow. You're right. I sit there the whole time and I'm flipping off the TV thinking, what are they doing? How do they do this? Brodes, I got you drinking coffee for the first time. Dude, you got to drink coffee every day. Brett Brown interview? I would love to get a Brett Brown interview. The irrational Brett Brown haters are the funniest things in the world. Could you imagine if Brett Brown started Furkan Korkmaz and Seth Curry in a game that the Sixers got blown out? One coach, it doesn't get mentioned. The other coach, like one of the worst coaches in the history of the NBA because of that move. It's hilarious. Hilarious. Coots, there it is. You're right. You're right after that one. Yo, what's up, DJ Eastwood? What's happening, bro? Just having my coffee. A little, just hang out in the morning, have a cup of coffee. Love your stuff, man. You're the best. You, Philly Mike, checking in. You guys are the best. If you haven't checked them out, must watch. Must watch. They're phenomenal people. They really are. Irrational Brett Brown hater. I know. I love it, though. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? I was saying, if Seth Curry and Furkan was your starting backcourt the other night, if Brett made that move, and they got destroyed in that game, if Brett made that move, he would have got rocked in the ass. He would have been. I mean, it's just what it is. I love it, though. At this point, I like to have fun with it, though. Like, now it's more about poking the bear, because I know how much people hate it, more so than anything else. If Brett Brown started Furkan, I would have resigned as a Sixers fan. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, Doc Rivers does it, and it's, well, I trust what he's doing. Who did the Flyers trade for? Any defenseman. Myself. Me. Any defenseman. Do I think Alec Boehm has potential to be a superstar? Hitting-wise, for sure. I mean, it was a small sample size, but hitting-wise, for sure. His defense is bad. His defense is brutal. I mean, it really is awful. This is going to be one of the worst defensive infields in the MLB. Rhys Hoskins can't do anything at first base. You have Alec Boehm over at third. You got Gene Segura, who's And you got Didi, who hits for a nice pop to right field. But look, you got JT, who's phenomenal at defense. I can't stand Dwight Howard. Think about how far we've come. In the beginning, it was Dwight. Yeah, look, we got the best option ever. And we still do. Best option ever that we had under the Joel Embiid era when it comes to the backup big man. But, you know, he has his flaws. Doesn't compare to starting Neto, Horford, and O'Quinn. Look, I mean, the rosters were brutal. There's no denying that. That's kind of what you had to work with, sadly. What's up, Taylor? What's happening? We're just hanging out, having. What was the last sip? We can date the time, right? I want to know the timestamp of the last sip. 20 minutes ago? It's just, I got to get better at this. Maybe I should just not talk, and you guys literally just sit here and watch me drink the coffee. No communication. No, Shake Milton cannot win the Sixth Man of the Year. What's going on here? Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. My favorite Eagle right now? Wow, oh, geez. Is there, as much as there are some like nice players out there on this team, I don't really have much connection with many of them. You know? Am I going to go to the point of like Jason Fletcher Cox? I guess it's got to be Brandon Graham. I guess there's a couple of guys you can talk about still in that range, you know? Creamer. Sparta says creamer black coffee. Black always. It's the only way. Put hair on the testicles. Vote Furkan for the All-Star game. Don't start that hashtag because you know that's going to happen. Yes, I do. I do know Coach Q. Coach Q is the best. I just thought about him the other day because I saw him on Instagram. He's the man. He is the man. Coach Q is a beauty. He was my trainer when I was playing college hockey. He was my trainer freshman year there. If you still see him, I know you said he was your PE teacher last year. That's right. He did leave Stevenson to do that. But, yeah, Coach Q's a beauty. Hell of a guy. Hell of a guy. Lowry is reported to get going at the trade deadline. If that's possible, yeah. Are you kidding me? Defender? The added defender to this team? Take over Shake Milton's role? Primary ball handler? Kyle Lowry? Come on. That would be great. That would be great. I'd be outstanding. What age did I start liking coffee? I guess I was probably like 18, to be honest with you. I'm not like, Yeah, for sure. Vincent, we all know the Umbrella Man is Brodes' favorite athlete on the Eagles. J.J. Arthagel-Whiteside. Someone actually asked me the other day. Not asked me. I guess it was more of a statement. The Eagles don't need to draft a wide receiver at 6 because you forgot about J-Jaw. Bruh. J-Jaw is pathetic. You're going to hold off from Devontae Smith because you have J.J. Arthagel-Whiteside. See, people wonder why I go crazy. People wonder why I go nuts. People wonder why, sometimes it's like, I can't stand what people say. Well, yeah, because of that. Eric Gustafson, he stinks too. Worst player on the Eagles. Yeah, worst player on the Eagles. Tom Brady named Super Bowl MVP for the 5th time in career. The headlines on SportsCenter. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to ask this question, and I haven't recorded a Super Bowl podcast yet, but how does this affect Andy Reid? Now, there's people out there that think Andy Reid sucks, and for those people, you're unaware of the situation. He's arguably one of the best coaches we will ever see in the sport of football. And losing this game, like if he won this game, it's different category. He loses this game, he got out-coached big time. The offensive line played a role, like I'm with you. But Todd Bowles destroyed that matchup. What does this mean for Andy Reid? Now, to think that he now sucks, I can't take that. I won't take that as an answer. A legitimate assessment on what does this mean for Andy Reid. What are my favorite kind of podcasts? Cal, I kind of touched on this a little earlier. I like it's crazy. I really don't know why, but my favorite podcast are Phillies postgame pods. I love doing Phillies breakdowns. I love talking about the Phils. And I can't wait until we finally, hopefully, one day, get a situation where they're legit. They're at the Dodgers level. They're back from the 2008 to 2011 type of Philadelphia Phillies where, they're in that combo of top dogs and that's what I'm talking about. Hold on. I got you, DJ. I'm trying here. I'm lagging. Why won't this show? I'm trying to get it to show, dude. I really am. There it goes. Yo, you're the best. You're the best. Thank you, DJ Eastwood. And always check out Run It Back Philly. He's a beauty. Breaks down the Sixers, Eagles. He's a great man. He really is. Check out his stuff. I'm sure you already know him, though. He's working his way, man. He's grinding. Got to respect the grind. Putting in his time. Thank you so much. You are the greatest. You are the greatest. Cork Moss. Stop it with Cork Moss. Don't be doing this to me. You think Nola's going to start regressing? I've been on the Nola train for a while here that he's not your pure number one. Apex, my next jersey purchase. I'm not like a huge jersey guy. There was a phase where I was getting into the jerseys a little bit, but I'm not really a big jersey guy anymore. I do like those City Edition J's, though. Not going to lie. Yeah, those are ridiculous. I kind of like them. A lot. A lot. J-Jaw's worse than Pinkston. Record prediction for the upcoming Sixers West Coast Roadie. I forgot they're starting to play at 10 o'clock games, huh? What Flyers jersey? I do like the new Flyers jerseys. I do. I like the new ones they had. The retros that they threw in there. I didn't know how I liked it originally, but they grew on me just like the City Edition, Jay. So, do I watch soccer? Yeah, casually. I'm your casual soccer fan. English Premier League more than most. Thumbnail for vid is the before the coffee photo. I don't even know what the thumbnail is, to be honest with you. I'll find out shortly, though. I've never drank coffee. See, that's the thing. You gotta, if you get a coffee you don't like, and that's the first type of coffee you drink, then you're gonna think, oh, I don't like coffee. But that's not necessarily the case. You just gotta find your touch. So you gotta experiment, But if you're around here, I'd go for a Wawa. Maybe go Wawa French vanilla with French vanilla creamer. I mean, that's probably a good way to start to try it. You don't want to go black right away. You got to work yourself into the black. I don't think you go right from the beginning. No, Matisse Thybulle should not start. He shouldn't start. You lack a lot. You can't start him. Throw him in spurts. Andy Reid to the Mahomes thing, at the end of his career, even though it doesn't deserve it, I don't think that's true. Andy Reid has shown, look, he went to how many NFC Championship games with Donovan McNabb here in Philadelphia, went to the Super Bowl in Philadelphia. His resume speaks for himself with and without Pat Mahomes, so I can't, you're right, though, there's a lot of irrational people out there. How do I feel about Gostisbehere play since he's been back in the lineup? Ups and downs, right? I mean, this decor is so bad that him coming in makes you feel better about it. But it's not good enough, is kind of how I see it. Not good enough, but better than what you had. Wawa Coffee's elite for sure. Thoughts on Terry Rozier? And what? Like, just how do I enjoy watching him play? Or the Sixers? Because, he got paid in Charlotte. Yes, they need a bench. Alexander, yes. Sixers need a bench point guard. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Do I think losing Matt Niskanen is the reason why the Flyers' defense is garbage? Yes. Can Couturier make some difference? Yes. To answer your question, yes. Both of those. LaMelo Ball is fun to watch, man. He makes plays. He really does. In the open floor, the way that he sees the court and the way that he passes behind his back and all, yeah, he's a fun watch, man. And everyone ties it to his father and his brother and all, but he's a super fun watch. And that's what they kind of need in Charlotte. A small market team, not a lot of firepower, but you get a guy who, you're willing to watch every single night to get people to tune in. But there's teams like that all around, like the Pelicans, right? They thought, oh, Zion, you got to watch him, this and that. At least from my personal experience, and maybe I'm the outlier here, but Zion and then the Pelicans, I'm not turning the TV on to watch TNT and the Pelicans. Like I'm not. They don't move the needle for me. They stink. They're a bad basketball team. Zion doesn't move the needle. I can make an argument that I almost enjoy watching LaMelo Ball than I do Zion Williamson. That's no knock on him. I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything. The Pelicans don't move the needle for me. Not that the Hornets do. I'm just saying if I had to choose between the two. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. Is that all Australian money? Is that what that means? Unless I am just out to lunch here, and that is just a terrible question to even ask. But on the super chat, I'll throw this up here on the chat. Will that show up? Why does it show up sometimes and not show up other times? It's starting to piss me off a little bit. Show. There it goes. What would I give up for Lowry? And the bench pieces. It's going to take a little bit amount. I mean, he's a nice player, and the Raptors aren't going to just give him up for free. But if you talk about some of these bench pieces, I'm absolutely going to give up. You're going to have to give up something. You're going to have to give up something. And if you think, and Daryl Morey said this, not just me, Daryl Morey, championship or bust mode. So would you be willing to sacrifice a younger piece that you're intrigued on to make that push? Embiid is playing at that level. So you don't know how long that window is going to be open for a big man that's 7 foot running 7 miles up and down the floor consistently. So just something to think about. But it's going to take something. Yeah, it is. It's going to take a little how do you do. Am I glad the Sixers signed Tobias over Butler? Without the recency bias here, I'd rather have Jimmy Butler as a player than have Tobias Harris. That's just me personally. But if you look at the fit and all, because Jimmy Butler ball in his hands, isolation at times, what would that mean? But to think that couldn't work is silly too. You can find ways for it to work. On paper, in theory, like, hey, Tobias can play that stretch 4 position, and it works with Embiid and this, but I'd still rather take Jimmy Butler. I mean, Jimmy Butler's got that dog, and Jimmy Butler's got that it factor. And you got to look at it from this perspective. If Jimmy Butler was never here, never, would Joel Embiid have this type of mentality right now? Even though Jimmy Butler's not with the Sixers, it doesn't mean his impact on these players that he played with wasn't there. I think one of the reasons why you are seeing Joel Embiid play the level that he's playing is because of the man, Jimmy Butler himself. I really do think that. Jimmy Butler's coffee. Is there Jimmy Butler's coffee, or am I... I'm working on a little sports talk with Brodes coffee. Could you imagine? That's a good idea. I'm going to put that in the notes. Little Brodes coffee. Oh, don't tempt me with a good time. Who's the GOAT of GOATs? It's easy. It's Tom Brady, right? It's Tom Brady. Would I make a move for Zach LaVine? I said this from the jump. During the hold when it was legit combo. Here's the thing. The Ben Simmons trade stuff, at this point, I think that's over with. It's not a reality. So I don't like to harp the conversation anymore. I was very afraid of moving Ben for Zach LaVine. That was, it was yes for Harden. It was yes for Beal. And for LaVine, it was like, I think that's more of a drop-off than people think it is. You're just looking at the stat sheets after the night's over. You got to watch him play consistently, and it's not the same thing. So LaVine, too much of a drop off for me. So no, because you can't get him without a Ben Simmons. You're not giving Tyrese Maxey and Shake Milton up to go get a Zach LaVine. The Bulls are not going to pull that trade. So if we're talking serious, well, that's not a reality, man. Not a reality. Tom Brady, chance at 10? Is that what that means? TB, chance at 10? 10 rings? Woo-hoo! Stop. Do I do podcast appearances? Yeah, I mean, if people reach out to me at the time. The problem is, man, the schedule these days, it's just bonkers. Bonkers. That's the issue. But yeah, I mean, if things work out, I'm never against hopping on anyone's pod, But just, I'm swamped. I'm in like head down mode for most of the time. Do I like the Eagles coaching staff? I am very concerned. That's reality of the situation. I'm not going to lie. I am very, very concerned. Scared. I don't think that this organization has a clue what they're doing right now. It feels very panicky. So you move on from Doug, but now you're going to bring back Nick Foles. Okay. And I know if they get Nick Foles, the realistic reason why they're doing that is because of the money side of things, the contract side of things. It's not really anything about the play, but are they blind by the optics here? Or does Howie Roseman think this is a good opportunity to get some of those fans back in his corner? There's not one Howie Roseman supporter. There's a lot of people that liked Nick Foles and wanted Nick Foles over Carson Wentz. Is this the optic of, hey, look, I brought back your favorite quarterback that he thinks is going to win this fan base over? Because to think that this team and this organization isn't worried about how they're viewed and the perception of them, well, they are, and they care. They care too much almost. Way too much. Yes, we should trade Carson Wentz, not due to who I think he can be, not due to if I think he can get back on the right track, because I think the answers to that are both yes, but it's based off of too much drama involved. It's based off of way too much happening, way too much nonsense, way too much Carson Wentz. If he had one bad game to start the season, you now have a coaching staff that needs to learn on the job. That's what they hired. They hired a staff that is learning how to be NFL coaches at the next level because they're all taking steps up. They're all become, OC to head coach, quarterback's coach to OC. Like everyone's kind of moving up in the ranks. So they're all adjusting on the fly. They're all learning on the job. Yet you're going to have to demand Carson Wentz to go out there and win every football game. It just doesn't match up. So you can never win if you're Wentz. The only way you win is if you become this hero and win every football game, and that's an unrealistic thing to ask of the guy. So I don't think that that's fair. You're putting him in a lose-lose situation right from the jump. So I can't justify it. Roseman should have lost his job. Well, Sally, that's not going to happen. But I do question if this is sort of your tipping point. Is this where the Howie Roseman era even continues? And if he does, that means he's succeeding, which would be a good thing. I don't want to hear, I want this team to suck so Howie Roseman fails and gets fired. If he can pull this team out of his ass and gets this team going, I prefer that if that means Howie Roseman stays. Let's be clear. But this is kind of that tipping point. Are you going to go in this direction, or is it going to be the time where Howie Roseman is no longer making decisions and it's time to move on? So we'll see, but I do think that this is sort of that, hey, you're going in one direction or the other for Howie Roseman, and we'll see. Yeah, Mahomes last night with those passes. How about the one where he was like sideways? He was literally parallel to the ground throwing a dot to the end zone. Was that Tyreek Hill or no, I don't think it was Tyreek Hill. Harmon maybe. I forget who the receiver was at the time, but he had a bunch of players in the face. He really did. How about the celebration of Tyreek Hill right in his face? I loved it. You got caught cheating on a test. What should you do? Well, you got to own up to it. Say, yeah, I did it. Move on. Admit to it and move on. Yeah, the City Edition jerseys are fantastic. I love them. What do I think the Eagles should do with Sweat, Barnett, Hargrave? I'm done with Barnett. Malik Jackson's going to be out of here. And you got to kind of start rebuilding. You got to start retooling that defensive front. That's what you got to do. But I don't think with Gannon, you're going to have the same pressure of defensive front. Like with Jim Schwartz, it was get home. Get home with your front four. We're not going to blitz a lot. And he had his style. He had his scheme out there, and that's what it was going to be. You obviously need front four pressure. You need your top guys to get going, but I think you're going to see a different style of defense where the pressure of your front four isn't going to be as significant. So not that they're not going to invest in it. They obviously did, and they still do, in Hargrave and Fletcher Cox. So you're still invested in that area. They're also getting older. A lot of these players are hitting that area where it's starting to get a little questionable. But you don't need to, if it was your number one focus point, maybe it's now your number two kind of thing. So we'll see how it all goes. I'm intrigued by Gannon, though. I was asked about the coaching staff a couple minutes ago. Gannon, he was highly regarded for a lot of jobs for defensive coordinator. I don't like that there's not a veteran presence, though. We need a veteran presence. Just one on one side of the football. I hope Jason Kelce plays another year. Vincent, he asked what's next for Jason Kelce. I hope it's one more year. No idea why KC didn't run the ball. Fournette balled out. Well, they were down, and they got to throw the rock. You know, I don't think the difference. Look at that line. You're going to run the football around with that line? I don't know. I don't think the difference in that game was running the ball or not running the ball. There was so much involved, man. So much involved. What would I give up for Kevin Love? I don't know. I honestly don't know what a fair compensation would be for Kevin Love, to be honest with you, where he's at in his career and for the role that he would be playing on this team. I don't know. Mahomes looked like Wentz yesterday. I get why people are saying that. Yeah, I mean, I get why people are saying that. I thought it was a little different. That doesn't tell the full story. I don't think that tells the full story, but I understand why people say that. I think there was more to it. Why the Thunder hat? I just like the hat. It's a blue hat, nice color blue. I got a lot of blue clothes. Every time I wear that OKC Thunder hat, I always get pointed out, what are you doing? look, I got some hats that aren't Sixers or that aren't Flyer. I got some hats, and they match. No, the NBA should not have an All-Star game. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. To think that they should do an All-Star game in this environment. Stupid. Just stupid. And I'm surprised because the NBA is smarter than this. The NBA is normally the first one ahead of everybody. They make the good decisions. And now you're seeing some of the stars unhappy. I wonder if that changes the scenario. But that's ridiculous, in my opinion, to think you're going to do that. The Flyers are in a tough spot. Who do you trade to make roster improvements? I'll tell you who I'm pissed off with. And this doesn't mean I want to trade these people. I'm just telling you who I'm pissed off with. Nolan Patrick, Travis Konechny, Oscar Lindblom. And it's like I feel bad getting mad at Oscar Lindblom for not performing at the rate that I think he can perform at. But I got to keep it 100, right? Like, he's not living up to what he was. And once again, I understand what's going on here, right? It's like I'm clearly aware of the situation, which makes me feel a little guilty inside. But I'm not happy with Nolan Patrick. I'm not really happy with Oscar Lindblom's play. I'm not happy with Travis Konechny. And you know what's crazy? When Scott Lawton is scoring that hat trick, he pisses me off, man. He does. He's really, there's times where like, man, he's a punch the face kind of guy. Makes dumb decisions. Thank you, Francesco. Big fan from Italy. Love that. Big fan. Thanks to you, I became a huge fan of every Philly team, even the Eagles. Kind of sad. Well, were you a fan before the Super Bowl or after the Super Bowl? Did you become a fan after the Super Bowl so you didn't even witness it? Flyers, Carson Wentz, Konechny. How did that happen? How did the Flyers, Carson Wentz, Konechny? No. He wasn't the only one, but that's the type of thing you do. You make a statement of your top guys so your whole team wakes up. The problem is they woke up for about a period and then went back to who they were. No, now you don't trade Konechny. See, now we're getting a little out of hand. Now it's time to trade Travis Konechny because he's disappointing us. This is where we got to draw the line, right? This is where we got to draw the line a little bit. Hey, thank you so much for the support. Big fan. Keep up the work. I definitely would like to see you do. Yes, I am going to be doing this more for sure. Matt, am I married? I have a fiance. We are engaged. So her and I are getting married in not this summer, the summer after. But COVID, who knows what the hell is going on these days. So I am engaged. If anyone's seen Captain Giroux, yes. If you haven't noticed Captain Claude Giroux, I don't think you've been watching hockey. This is the greatest we've seen Claude play, I think, since that year he was in the conversation of MVP of the league just a couple of years ago. All right? So this Claude Giroux slander is pathetic. It's a joke. I don't understand it. It's really ridiculous. I don't get why people hate Claude Giroux. It's like, oh, the Flyers haven't won a Stanley Cup when he was captain. Well, let's dive a little deeper. Let's look at this a little bit more. Who was their goalie? Who was their coach? Who was on the team? What was their roster? They were putrid. They were bad. And if they made the playoffs, they weren't a serious contender. They were just an team. So to put that on one guy is a joke. And to think that a captain is a player that has to be a guy that is a 100-point performer, go look around the damn league. Go look at the damn league. You don't have to be a guy that scores all your points to be a captain. To think your captain has to be the goal scorer, that means you don't know anything about hockey. I'm not singling out anyone specifically. It's just, it blows my mind. Once again, people saying stupid-ass things that pisses me off. Yeah, Claude Giroux's been playing phenomenal. Phenomenal. Flyers need to fix their D-zone, for sure. It's their D-zone. And their offense doesn't generate a lot, but I also think has to do with their defense. If their defense got stronger, maybe that they would benefit more offensively. By the way, this is a 5-minute warning. I started the live stream at 9 a.m., and I think we're going to go until 10 a.m., so a 1-hour coffee live stream. So it's a little 5-minute warning, just a heads up. I don't want to catch anyone off guard. Furkan Korkmaz is better than Jordan. I guess that's a fair assessment. Statistics might back that up. Jay, congrats, bro. I just proposed to my girlfriend last week. Congratulations, dude. It's exciting, man, for sure. It's exciting stuff. Brodes, you should go to an Eagles game. I've been to many Eagles games. It's hard now, though, because I do stuff at 97.3 in the mornings I do Sunday mornings. I produce the Locker Room with Billy Schweim, so, that's 10 a.m. to noon, and that kind of snowballs into the football days and whatnot. So it's kind of hard to nowadays, but with the work schedule. But yeah, I've been to plenty. JVR has been incredible. Yeah. Yeah, that's almost doing him a disservice. What do we got here? A Sports Center not top 10 nominee in the. We got a little Detroit Red Wing. Oh, Dylan Larkin fell over the bench. Classic. What in the world? Oh, the puck knocked him over. Ha! It's actually hilarious. This team needs Zach Ronaldo. No, they don't. I should start a podcast. Maybe I should. Would I trade for Steph Curry? Drew and JVR have been great. Drew is also great at stuff outside the stat sheet. No doubt about it. And now, this was G playing without Sean Couturier. Think about that. That was G now stepping up and having to play a different role. Now he can be a different version of himself because you have Sean Couturier back. Last night's Super Bowl streaker better be on the top. That, yeah, right? What kind of jerk-off do you need to be to think you're going to run around the Super Bowl field and strip or streak or whatever? Like, how dumb can you be? Seriously. Like, was that worth it? Was that really worth it? Be better. I think Snyder's comments about Drew is where a lot of BS over Drew comes from. Well, then you just have to separate yourself from that. You know what I mean? Like, you should be able to make your own decision and see where. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just bringing it up in a more broad term and direction. But, like, at some point, it's like, okay. It's like the people that get mad. They're like, I was told that, these analysts told me this. Well, guess what? Make a decision on your own. Like, just because people on TV say something, it doesn't mean that's how you have to feel specifically. If you always doubted something and maybe the analysts don't, well, that's fine. You don't have to believe everything analysts say. They have their opinion just like you have your opinion. Right? They actually showed the streaker. Yeah, that's kind of funny. I saw it on Twitter and Instagram and all afterwards, but Farabee is going to be a star. Joel Farabee looks legit as hell. Like, legit. And I think that he's not even close to touching the surface yet. He's getting 3-point nights, constantly +3. It's unreal. Opening day's Phillies center fielder. I say Hasely. Depends. If a lefty's pitching, they don't give him a shot in hell at batting against a lefty. Ever. What college did I go to? I started out at Stevenson. I played college hockey there for 2 years, and then I transferred over to Rowan to finish off with like a sports communications degree. So I did finish off at Rowan, but I went to Stevenson in Maryland first, and then then I graduated from Rowan. Do I think Rager can be something? Absolutely. I do. I'm not writing him off by any means. He definitely has a skill set that can be benefited for sure. He definitely has a skill set that's intriguing. The Braun blast was just for me. Yeah, the Braun one and the Robert Haig comes in with a hell of a bomb to just throw it on net. It's hilarious that those two bums are out there ripping it. That's how you know it's a crazy game, right? Justin Braun's hitting the pipe. You got Robert Haig with a blistering cannon walking in with all kinds of time and space raffles, jumping in front of the netminder's eyes. I will do more live streams. I will be implementing Coffee with Brodes way more. This did phenomenal. This just did it outstanding. I'm blown away by it. This is only time one. So, all right, that's going to do it for Coffee with Brodes with our first run at it. I'm super excited to continue to implement all kinds of new content to the channel and every other platform as well. Stay engaged. Follow me on Twitter at Brodes81. That's where you can learn a lot of information on what's going on next. And I'll see you guys later on. Thanks for coming to hang out.